I just watched a new Spider-Man movie, and it's good. Yeah, it was really good. Although the theater was incredibly packed, which is not like a complaint, but also alongside the theater being packed, we went to see it at a theater that was attached to a mall, and that entire parking lot was hell on earth. It was really hard to get a spot. It was packed as hell. So congrats to Spider-Man for doing a wonderful job. Also, before I get into specifically the movie, I thought it was really, really exciting how the Odyssey came out, and I saw that like not but a week ago. And then Spider-Man came out and I saw it in theaters as well. So that was really cool to have like a meaningful, like I want to go to the theaters back to back. That was kind of neat. And it was also packed for both fucking films. It's almost giving like movies are back sort of deal like vibes where I don't want to glaze it too hard, but I have really been enjoying the theaters recently, and that's not something that's happened to me for quite a minute. Like in the past 3 years, I can't remember a time where I've gone to the movie theaters this close together for some movies, which is kind of neat. So now Spider-Man itself was really, really good, and one of the biggest parts of that for me personally was the Punisher. The Punisher's character was so good. I really liked him in this movie. I think his actor John Bernthal. I thought he absolutely crushed the role. I thought his lines weren't so quippy. I thought they were very like realistic, and that can add to like the comedic relief that he's supposed to be bringing with every scene. It was nice to see him on screen and being like that bad guy to Spider-Man's good guy that amplifies Spider-Man's good guy side, because Spider-Man's always like the I don't kill, and then Punisher's like that I will shoot her in the head. If you give me the chance, I'm blowing her head off. And the fact that he does that is really, really, it speaks to Spider-Man's good side a lot, which is nice because it helps develop him and show how good a character he is. Speaking of Spider-Man's development, I thought it was really, really amazing how well they handled him in this movie. He is not just dealing with like world-ending threats, but they kind of bring the movie a lot more in and a lot more, they keep the movie local. So obviously he's going through a bunch of like developmental changes. They give him natural web. Oh yeah, spider. So it's not spider. Spider warning. Spoiler warning. They give him like natural webs again as he's like dealing with hormonal changes through his spider side coming through and all this stuff. And I thought they handled it really, really neat because it shows a lot of the emotional development that he's going to have to go through in order to fix a bunch of the shit going on. The two other characters I really, really enjoyed was Hulk and Black Widow. And Hulk specifically was awesome. I thought his fight scene was really, really good. But like, there were specific elements of it that were my personal favorite because we've obviously, like, Marvel Rivals came out, you get to play the Hulk, it's really, really good. He's been in other games, and he's just this awesome comic book character. But it showcased a lot of his abilities. So his ground stomp and his fucking hand clap, I eat that shit up. As me, I eat that shit up because it's really cool to see such a melee strength focused character utilize that element of themselves to give themselves range. I love that shit. Like, you're so strong, you can attack someone from afar, even though you have no ability to technically do so. Also, they did emphasize Hulk's size again and like how much of a threat he is. I liked that. There was a part where he was being mind controlled for a little bit, and they like neutered him as like the Hulk again, where he's just this guy who's just big and green. And then when he actually loses it, they emphasize the fact that he's a threat and he's big and scary again. Although what they normally do with Hulk is not something I totally agree with, because by definition, Hulk is a raging monster who is classified as like this world-ending threat, where if something happens and he loses it, every single person needs to jump on top of him in order to fix it or solve the problem, because it's that bad if he loses it. So for this movie to kind of handle that again, as Spider-Man just can deal with it, it takes away from Hulk's oomph yet again, which is fine, I guess. But I really liked him in this movie, so it was pretty fun. It was a really, really good fight scene. I thought a lot of the angles they used were really good. And then Black Widow was also really good. I didn't think I would like her very much in this movie when I saw how she was being introduced, but she ended up being like this Avengers level therapist for Peter Parker. And that came through pretty well. It showcased a lot of where he needed to put some of his emotions professionally. And I think it's really important to note, because sometimes when you're going through something, there's ways you express it to yourself and alone and to friends, and then there's a way you have to put on a face professionally. And I think Peter did a lot of that, and it showcased like who he is really in the middle and what he's going through by showing these two sides. And I think Black Widow was a really good part of that, by like, hey dude, you're kind of going through it. And Peter's like, nah, I'm chilling. And she just ended up being like this really good, like not comedic relief character, but she had some really good lines. So I enjoyed her presence a lot. That was good. One of the best things this movie does, especially if you go and see it, is that they don't just give Peter his friends back. I think that's a really good part of this movie. They had a part in the movie where Peter and his interests kiss, and it's this big twist where like she's being mind controlled. She doesn't actually feel these emotions. There's nothing going on about him. She doesn't remember him at all. And then later on in the movie, she finds a note written to her from Peter. And it's the same thing. It's like,
dude, I don't know who you are.
Like the memories that you're reiterating and regurgitating to me, they don't exist, man. This is not me. And I think that's really, really impactful because while they do kind of shut down the avenue of her getting her memories back, they don't fully kill the idea of like, there's nothing there. So it's nice that the door is kind of open for maybe something in the future or like actual hard development through like sacrifices that Peter's had to make before. And I like that they didn't just give that back to him by being like, oh, we kiss and it's all good. Whoa, I remember you. Wait, what is, this is, I don't know what this was, but this is scissoring, but whatever. I don't know. This is what immediately came to my mind when it came to kissing. So whatever, sure, fuck it. One of the things that I don't think this movie did well was the classic Marvel quips. I am just starting to lose sight of like why I don't enjoy them very much. I think there's a lot of lines and scenes where the scene is going great and then a quip happens where Marvel writers are like, no, we have to put in like a thing here. And it takes away from the scene. It takes away from it because they say this like dry, stupid, like super predictable remark. And it flattens the scene completely. And Marvel's been doing that forever where they have this like, I guess, corporatized like comic book quippiness that they need to insert into all their movies. But there were just, and it wasn't throughout the whole movie, but the few scenes where I noticed it happening, I was like, okay, I'm just kind of taken out of this. That's fine. Overall, I don't think it took away too much from the writing. Like I thought the writing and the lines they chose were really, really good. Again, specifically for Punisher, because his quippiness wasn't like, it was more from a realism spot, which amplified the humor of it instead of just being like, you know what? Fuck you, Spiderman. And it's like, okay, cool. Yep. Punisher wakes up out of bed. Spider-Man, it's a brand new day. So something like that would be completely on board and on the table with the writing crew at this point, which is fine, but just not my thing. Finally, the thing that I really enjoyed probably the most about this movie that I didn't really grasp until I was fully done watching it and like had a bit to like actually think through a bunch of the stuff that I liked about it was the fact that it wasn't just setup. Hell yeah. Avengers Doomsday is coming out in like December-ish or around Christmas time or late of the year, and I just don't care. I have predictions that movie's going to be pretty mid. I am not really excited for it. I don't think they've done a lot of the like movie buildup for Doom that like they're saying he needs because they're introducing this brand new threat of a giant character like Doom, and then just, I don't know. I'm just not looking forward to it, I don't think. And in that trailer for Doomsday, they do the thing where they just introduce the strongest Avenger, Thor, and rip him down. I don't get why we have to keep doing that. I get it. Thor is like this character they keep power scaling up and then immediately tearing down the second they can. It's so stupid. It's like he's never going to be, I don't know. They don't keep the strongest as the strongest, which is, I guess it's fine to fluctuate, but why is it just Thor that gets fucking ping-ponged with his power? Like even in the trailer, they're like, okay, we're just going to belittle Thor off rip. Fine. And to emphasize the fact that it doesn't need to be build up for anything, not everything Marvel produces needs to be an advertisement for the next thing Marvel produces. And I don't like that cycle has been ever since like the original Avengers. That's been like the case where they're going to keep promoting through this existing product the next movie. Everything is set up essentially is how it's been handled for a long, long time. So it was really cool to see that this movie was not like self-contained in a way, but it was its own story that had everything kind of wrapped up in it. It didn't feel like I have to watch this in order to get the next movie, or it wasn't all set up. All that stuff is great. And don't get me wrong, I know for a fact I'm still going to go see Doomsday. I don't like that fact that I know I'm going to go see it, even though I have no like super high expectations, but it's like the big movie that they have planned. So I'll probably go see it in theaters. I'll probably wait to not see it opening night, which I'm excited about because that's like the barrier to entry where if people see it and don't like it, I probably won't see it and I'll just wait to watch it at home, but whatever. We'll see. So that's about it. The new Spider-Man came out and I really, really enjoyed it. If you have a chance to go see it in theaters, it's not like a must see, but it was pretty good. So I had a really good time. And it, again, to emphasize, can't remember a time in the last 3 years where I've seen 2 movies in theaters back to back. It kind of peak, kind of hype. Movies are back. Holy glaze, whatever. But yeah, if you're watching, I think that's it. I won't keep you for too much longer, but I would like to emphasize, if you are watching, thank you so much for watching. I think the last 2 months have been really weird for me. It was kind of weird to go from making so many videos every single day in May, all that I possibly can in May, and then having to take some time for myself. I mean, like, I just had a birthday. I'm 26 now. Woo! And then I went down to Miami. I went to Orlando. I had a pretty good July and a great June. It was just a bunch of fun. I had a giant fucking trip, all of that. It was a little weird to take so much me time, but I should be back and I'm very, very excited. So if you are still around, especially from when I was making videos before where I was pouring everything in and I got a bunch of traction, I really, really appreciate it. So very cool. Excited to see more. Excited to make more videos, so that'll be a great time. So if you are watching, thank you. And holy ramble. I know, I'm just going to keep talking until the video cuts